Hey everybody, it's your boy MaxBiz104. In today's video, we're going to be building Minneapolis, Minnesota with Legos. Okay, so starting off, we obviously have to open our program and start off a new one. And then we start off with our Lego architecture set base, which is the 5 place with the things on the side. And then we start off with the first base and the first building we are making, which is going to be the IDS tower, which is this big, cool, interesting black one. It's also the tallest one in the city. So it starts off with this sort of interesting triangulated-ish design, where it's slanted on the corners and then it's flat on the 4 main sides, and it just keeps going up for quite a bit, many times, and then eventually we get to our height. And then we do start off with the colors, which is mostly black, but then there's a couple of different colored blacks in the middle and at the top, so we're going to use the chrome black for that. And at the top it's got this sort of white design or whatever, and then these little antennas and a little bit of gray and a small sort of little square or cube at the top as well. So we're going to do a little bit of changing here first too. This first one didn't seem as good, so then we're going to put the little square on there, and then we're going to put the spire after, and then we do the bridge, or not the bridge, the street, and then boom, we have it done, and it looks really good. Next we have to do the Capella University or Capella Center, I don't know what it's called, Capella Tower. So we're going to work on that now, which I found to be probably the most complicated one that we have to build, because there's so many designs that I wanted to use for it, so many different ways that just wouldn't work using Legos, but we did the best that we could, and we have so many revisions in this one, which is good though, because the more revisions that we have, the more we understand of how to use this and how we can fix it in the future, if we ever do, and how we can improve on our future ones. So as you can see, we expanded backwards a little bit, make the base bigger, and we need to work on the sort of glass window part of it on the, I think it's the western side of the tower, and then it goes to the rounded part, so towards the center top. And then we try to do this weird design on the east side where it's like rounded, but it's also slanted. And then also trying to fix up the top part, trying to make it sideways a little bit in a corner, but that doesn't work, so instead we just go with the main side, and then we do something different for the back, so then we have it the way we need it. Boom. And then we start working on the complicated side, which is the slanted and not as windowy, but more sort of straight angles way and slanted, so it's not as round. Then we do some things on the side and around it. Looks very fancy and very complicated as well. Very interesting, I guess, design that the building is, which is actually very weird in a way, but cool. Weird but cool. And then it just goes up the sides, more windows on the back, a little bit in the front, and some things down in the center part. Past the slanted stuff, and then turn to the front, and we add some little plants, little trees at the front, color it. And then we color the window part, which is the sort of tan color for all the window pieces, and then the rest of them is sort of this dark blue kind of mess going on, which looks very cool. And then in between them, it's got these brighter blue pieces that make it sort of stripes design. So then we look back at it and then continue it on onto this part. And then now we're sort of working on the main top part. After we put some little things down, change these colors, and then do that, make it instead of tan, we go for this sort of sandy blue color, which actually looks a lot better because tan does not fit too well with this. And then try to make this sort of rounded design at the top, which was really complicated because I didn't really know how I was going to do this. So instead, I just went with the basic round, like 4x4 plates, which was very simple. And then now we had to work on the really weird kind of outward round top part, which I didn't really know how I was going to do. So I knew I was going to use these slanted pieces, and I wasn't fully sure how at first, because it kind of goes like outward like this, but it's also rounded, but which is weird because it rounds towards the center, kind of like a cone, but like a half cone. So then I just grabbed some of the things, added only 2, and then got the same round piece that we used for earlier, and then plonked it on there, and then turned it sideways so then it was facing up. And then added a few more things on it, and then made it this brightish blue color, and then added a little more details, made it fully flat. I couldn't really make it too rounded, and there was that sort of white thing on the back. I couldn't make it too rounded, so what I did was I just put these little pieces on it, make it look like it went up a little bit. And now we're working on the Hennepin County Government Center, which is a really interesting looking building, and I thought it looked cool. After we added the street around the Capella Center and made the spire on the IDS tower a little bit taller. And now we're working on the Hennepin County Government Center, which is this sort of block with this cutout center and slanted-ish at the top. So we were gonna go for that. And first we started off with the main kind of like yard area, where it's this red, salmon coral red color with this gray circle in the middle, and then it had these trees on the side. And then we started work on the actual building, which I was going to make this weird design because I had to do the center in the middle, so I was going to put something in the center. So then I went with this, so I put this like black color, because in this picture it's like a black and gold sort of crossover, but it's mostly black, so I went with that. Added stripes on the side, and then we did the more complicated part, which was the side walls, and then the slant section at the top, because there's a little slanty wanty at the top. So we made the sides, did these bricks where it goes outward, and then added the tiles on it, and then the slants at the top, because that's where the slants were. I had to break down some little parts, and then turned it, and then at the top it's more flat again, and then that's pretty much how it looks. And then at the top there's just a little bit of black and then like super dark gray, smoothish at the top, which was a little bit funky, but then we just kind of did that because it's a little bit taller on one part, put the street around it, and changed up the bottom piece because there's a little bit of stairs, and then boom. And now we're working on to the final one, which is the US Bank Field, which is a stadium, and it hosted Super Bowl 52, which the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New England Patriots in, which was the first Super Bowl win. And then it's a really interesting design stadium, because instead of like the more basic stadiums where it's like rounded, it's got all these triangulated angles and slants and whatnot. So we just did the best that we could. And for this one, I was gonna color it this like black and then clear blue colors. So did more slanting, did that same triangulated thing on the back, and then now we started work on the color part, which I started with this blue and then did the black parts in it. And then there was this second, the shiny, clear, see-through blue, and then just did something different here because it's kind of slanted at the top colors, added some more black and blue. And then now we were doing the roof, which was kind of weird, but it was overall simple because it just this sort of slant in the middle, and then made it smooth on these edges right here, and then boom. Stadium done. Now we just put the street around it, and then do the parking lot. And then once we've done that, we have it basically finished, and then we add the front nameplate and whatnot, and then we finish it up, render it, and then boom. We have it finished, and I have to say I'm really stunned with how it turned out. I say this probably every time, and probably will too say it, like, oh yeah, it turned out really good. But that's because it did. It looked really well, and it looked probably better than I would have originally anticipated. I was able to get around the struggles of the Capella Center and added something different this time, which is a stadium instead of a more building-like structure. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed how it turned out. And please leave your suggestions in the comments of what city you want me to do next. And with all that said, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!